Hi everybody, it's Diane here. As I imagine you already know, I just had a hankering to make some ATCs. I haven't for a while. So I have some scrapbook paper images here. What should we start with? I don't know. Well, let's start with a scrap. Okay, all done. I just am making these as I go. There's no plan. I know that's unusual for me, right? Alright, that's kind of cool. I don't like the background color. This is a file folder cut up. That's about the same, Diane. Yeah, I noticed. That's why we quickly put it back in the box. No, you're going too light, dear. I was kind of thinking of making Christmas ATCs. I might on my own. But I'm not sure when this is going to air, so to speak. Might be after the fact. So we're going with everyday ATCs. Nope. I don't know, sometimes it just takes forever to come up with something. No. No, no, no. For the sake of filming, I guess I could move on. No. Yeah, but you're not. Well, I know there's something in here that would work. All right, we'll kind of move on. Maybe we'll come across something as we're working on something else, right? Now this one is a little too big, and it is a tag shape. So if we just trim a little, it'll fit. If we trim the whole tag part off, that fits. I hate to kind of do that to someone's design, but that's not so bad with that square. All right, let's do that. Don't rat on me. It's really crooked, Diane. All right, I hope that's better. That's not too shabby. Let's edge that with ink. Or let's ink the edges. Okay. Would this do anything for it? No. Well, that's cool. I didn't realize that. That's, yeah, I know I have some. Looks like film there. Yeah, we're supposed to have a couple days here where it's not too bad, like in the 30s. Which is going to seem like, you know, real balmy. And then we're going to drop right back to like highs of 6, stuff like that. Sounds fun to me. Am I being sarcastic? I think so. That's kind of cool. There's some film stuff, little scrappy things I've got way in the back. Okay. surprised they're still there. It seems like they wind up moving. And I know it's me. I shove stuff in there and whatnot. And before you know it, they're not in the back anymore. Because all your film stuff has to be in the back. No, I mean, I put it there so I know where it is. Okay. Well, do we want a second one? I suppose. All right, well, I think red in those spaces that are left. It's pink, and this box is getting kind of full, I know. I don't know what to do with it, the scraps, I mean. Because I was making scrappy notebooks here and there. But those haven't been selling lately, so I don't really want to make more. I don't know. Alright, the last try, and I'll go with... Yeah, it's too late. Alright, we'll go with this. It's gonna just make it. Yeah, I don't know what else I'll wind up putting on this one. I mean, it's, you know, it's so cool as it is, right? Time will tell. Okay, that's pretty good. Of course, it's going to throw that square off. We're going to make sure let's just see what looks better. If it's lined up or not. Or maybe I'll switch and put the red in the corner. Okay, you got that. Alright, next. It's a cat playing a banjo. And there's a dog driving a bus. That's a Simpsons line. No. Get off the letters, Diane. Okay. Well, you know, that looks vintage, but this is kind of fun and funky. Should we be fun and funky? Might be too early in the morning for fun and funky. Maybe just fun. Alright, well, that's fine. I was going to say I could cut it, because you don't see much behind anyway. But, well, let's just go with that for now. See what else we stumble upon. All right. Okay, what do we want in that corner? I don't know. That would be okay. I don't really like it. You can use it if you want. I don't know, would this angle be off setting? Actually, it's kind of cool. Alright, do you like the brown there showing at the top, or no? I think no. But you can show brown if you want. Okay, that's kind of cool. All right, this one is real close to the size of the card. Isn't that neat? I don't know if that's an old book plate or something. I'm shading, Diane. You've got sun on the counter. I thought that was neat. But see, so we can just work with that, obviously. I could cut that border off. This, I don't know. I mean, it's interesting. I don't know that it's sensational. Well, let's just leave it for now, because I would put stuff behind it anyway, right? Does that make sense to anybody? You know what I'm saying? Could you tell? This is a cursive alphabet like you'd see in the schoolroom. They show you how to do it. Anybody remember those from school? I do. We had them. They were green, like a dark green with off-white lettering cards. They were up around near the ceiling of one of my classes. I don't know, they've been like third grade, fourth. That was a long time ago. No, why don't we try darker-ish? That's off. That's kind of cool. There's brown in here. All right, I'll piece this so it fits around. Okay. How long have we been playing in the sunshine here? 13 minutes. Let's try a small one. These were tickets on a paper, and this was too, but I cut the ticket part off. What do you have against tickets? I don't know, I just thought this one looked better without. That's interesting. There might be people right now going, no, no, no. That's okay too. It's a little competing. It's kind of big. Maybe we can find something better. We'll look for something better, and then I'll do the other backgrounds by myself. No, I'm too busy. Too yellow. Whoops. Too alive. That just doesn't do anything for it. This is better. No, not necessarily. No. Nope. You need more bluish. Okay. Yeah, that's closer. Too big. Yeah, I think this is not going to make it. It's interesting. I mainly like it because of that peach color, though. We don't like the shape of it. It's too big of a scale, I think. No, that's too green. It's the critique hour with Diane. Too green, too big, too something, right? It might be too busy, yeah. Not the right shade. No. Well, who knew a little bird could give you so much trouble? Ick. Nope. That's not bad. To me, it's a little too modern looking, if you could call gingham modern. That's not bad. But is it too something, Diane? I think it's too much. If we had a portion of it. Alright, that's better. Okay. Well, since there's already 3 things there, maybe we should just have something simpler for the rest of it. Yeah, I think I'll do that, but I have a sneaking suspicion I will knock it down with gesso. Okay, group, I'm going to do backgrounds and come back, and then we'll play around with little accessories, and I'll find out what's wrong with all of those. Okay, hang on. Okay, folks, I'm back the next day. This time of year, I don't have a lot of craft time. It's Christmas time instead. So these are in varying stages of completion. I started with some of these, and every single one ended in, I don't know, let's move on. It was so stupid, I got rid of it. So let's pick it up. This one, I'm thinking, could I just do some kind of scrappy strip looking stuff and then put a phrase over that? It's a thought. I would like to stitch, I think, between these two. We'll see if she remembers. I'm looking in this scrap box here that you can't see. Color is really hard to find, although there are a couple snippets of it in here somewhere. You know I'll never find it now. No purple, thank you. It's okay. It's not sensational, but I'll take it. Okay, one more something. Could put a fabric in with that too, couldn't we? Maybe we should do that. It jazz up our textures a little bit. Well, here's just a plain green. That would match. It's kind of boring, but maybe that's good. If I put a phrase over it, you don't want it too busy, right? And there's a big glue blob here. My scissors keep sticking to it. Okay, well, pretend that's great. Yeah, we're going to have to pretend on that one. Do I have a phrase that pays? Out of limitations comes creativity. That's true. It's a scrap. Hold tight, pretend it's a plan. There's some good advice. Yeah, I was looking at this in the segment you're not going to see, and somewhere on here it says best day ever. So we were making jokes of, I hope it's not the best day ever. Well, all right, I don't see one better. Okay, I would cut this apart then and put it on here. Okay. This one I didn't do anything with other than tone down the sheet music with gesso. This is crooked. Yeah, we had lots of crooked issues. This one, all right, this is my tip. When you're adding something you want straight, don't do it until it's all trimmed, because I did it when I still had hangage and it was crooked. I mean, I thought it was straight, obviously, but it wasn't. So I peeled it off. You know, you can kind of fudge it with paint, sloppy paint, and tighten it up, make it look straight. But I peeled it off, so when you replace it straight, you're going to see a little bit of that. Don't worry. We're going to cover it up with a ribbon, probably. Well, a flower might be nice on that. Anything really handy? No, not those. What do you think? Blue? Oh, actually, maybe this. No, this is more brown. At first, I thought it looked kind of like the same color. It's not. Yeah, no. Kind of close. No, too fussy. See, this is what I was doing in the last one, and then I'd go, well, I'll look for something on my own, but when you say that 10 times, it's a little ridiculous. At least that's what I think. And why are you singing? Because I have such a pleasing voice. Well, maybe this one, but I'm thinking blue. And yeah, I don't have a lot of blue flowers. Let me look quick. I know you can't see. Is this anything? No, it's not. All right, I'll do this on my own. This is exactly what I did in the last segment. All right. I didn't do much with this, as you can see. Did you even see this one? I don't know. Between yesterday and today, I don't remember. Well, we could do flowers. We could do a saying. We could do anything. Even, an object like a cat or something. I don't know. Any of these colors? Kind of nice with this. Hydrangea's not bad. There's a rose. What would that look like on there? It would kind of look like you need blue, I think. No peacock feathers. That one's not really bad, but I think it's way too fussy and detailed to go with the fussy detailed birds. Just find something wrong with everything. Well, what about this stamp that looks like a person? Is it somebody you're supposed to know? I think it looks like Benjamin Franklin. Okay. Now I think we need a flower, though. Something on here that would go with the birds, that aren't too fussy and too detailed. I don't think so. All right. A flower for the possible Ben stamp. Oh, maybe one of these for the birds. That might be nice. There's pale pink. There's this rust color. Now this is more of a peach, I guess. Let's try this one. It's kind of pretty, okay. But that's still kind of boring. Was there a phrase for this in the white? I just want to make nice things. It says wanna, not want to. Here's best day ever again. Well, practice kindness is nice. Which, you know, are we all 6 years old? Do we have to be told that? That's nice, though. All right, that's something for that. This one. Yeah, I really hadn't planned to put phrases on these, but almost all of them are getting one. Well, how about replace fear of the unknown with curiosity? Whatever that really means, but I think it kind of goes with, if that is Ben Franklin, you know, he was an inventor. What do you think? All right, that's enough goofing around. I'm going to get these up to a point where we can do ribbons, and we'll come back and do ribbons. That shouldn't be too tricky. Okay, hang on. Okay, let's do some ribbon or washi. All right, this one. I like this bird on here, but flush on there, I don't know if you can tell. It doesn't stand out, or up. So I pop dotted it with cardboard. The poor man's pop dots. No, actually, it's the dumb man's pop dots because I have them. I don't know where they are. Anyway, I would have had to cut them anyway, or at least a couple. So I want to put, excuse me, ribbon where the seam is. Actually, you don't see it that much. It's because the dots are off is why you notice it, I think. Oh, let's put some glue under there. Okay, I still maintain that Aleene's glue, when it's almost at the end, it doesn't work so well. I don't understand that. So we have a new one here. Okay. And I didn't put the bird on because depending, you know, once the ribbon's on there, it's going to look different. Well, we could do green. We could do like a tan or an ecru. That's okay. I think it's kind of showy for this look. That's better. All right, let's just do that. And some of the corners I rounded. Well, a lot I did. This one I didn't, because of the corner on the main image there. I could have been proven wrong, but I sort of thought, because that's more of an straight angle, if I curved the corners, it kind of would go with it so much. So that was my logic for that. It's the Diane logic on that subject. Is it even? Yeah, not bad. Okay. Okay. All right. Do we want anything else on this one now? Well, could put a little ribbon here where it meets. Okay, let's do that just to be interesting, and I won't glue it here. Okay. And the ribbon is sticking to my thumb. Okay. This one, I did add some cheesecloth, a word, another flower. I think it needs something, but I'm not sure what. Maybe ribbon like here and here. A blue. And that's too dark or wide or bold. Hello, I know there's an end somewhere. That's nice. All right, let's do that there for sure. And then do we want it on the bottom? I think not. Do we want it by that tan paper? I think there. Okay. And I think with that ribbon there, you won't notice that blue is just slightly crooked. At least we're hoping. Okay, that one needs ribbon on that border to conceal that. You could do black, you could do pink, you could do this. That's fine, it's not terribly exciting. That's nice. I don't know if I'd say it's terribly exciting either, but it's nice. Well, you be the judge. I think that's nice. It goes with that flower well. That's nice. Now, I did rubber stamp a phrase there, if you noticed. Well, that's a hard call. I think I'll go with the other one, although if you vote for this one, I see your point. That's nice too. Okay. Is that all we want? think so. Okay. This one I did not round corners either, mainly because of that heart there. It would cut into that and look kind of dumb. And this is straight too, so there. And I had said of putting ribbon where it meets there. And this was the stuff I was talking about. Yeah, I think that's good. Do we want anything on the top of this? I could stitch up there. Oh, that's not bad though. Alright, let's do that. Okay, now these next ones where I'm not sure. Possibly. That's nice. Alright, let's do that, but let's see if she'll remember. Not go across the border, go under it. Okay. Ben. Yeah, I wasn't too sure about this one. I could kind of use something somewhere, but I'm not sure what or where. Something somewhere, but I'm not sure what or where. How about black even? I like that better than the pink. But yeah, I don't know where I want it. See, down there, if you do that, then you have to put something there. That makes the whole thing fall off the bottom. Well, what do you think of that? That. How about that? Nice cut. And then do we want it on the bottom at all? I don't know. I'll see when I glue it. I didn't know about this one either. It is plain. I was kind of thinking I did a faux stitch line around the cat. I could do that around the edge of the card. That would help. Well, let me do that a little bit. Let me grab the specs and just see if I think that might be enough. Yeah, it's still kind of plain, but maybe it needs more like a word, though, or something like that. Alright, those don't need anything. I'm going to finish them off, and then we'll come back for show and tell. Hang on. Okay, here we are. I did add sewing to the bottom of this one, and then this banner, I put 2025 on there. You could argue it could use something on the top, but I just like the way it is. That is going to obviously add, maybe take away from the birds. I didn't bother. This, I put sewing here. Yeah, you could still tell it was crooked. You know, it wasn't bad. It depends on how persnickety you are, but so I added washi, which, you know, that's a nice addition anyway. I put another ribbon here. I think that's kind of nice. It does, to me, make the composition better. That I didn't change, just added the trim there. We added fun. Nothing beats fun, right? Oh, that's fine. Okay, this one, anybody? It's Louise Brooks, an old 1920s, 30s actress. Something just made me think I should put a person on the square there that looks, you know, Bauhaus-ish. She struck me. However, this is actually dated 1923 there. That picture must have been taken after that. Don't tell anybody. But the picture had been cut anyway. So I added this red. I did a little jaggedy cut there. I punched dots and then I dotted in with a pen a few more black dots. I actually think that's kind of cool. No ribbon on that. I don't think it needs it. Here's this one. That's nice. One little tiny thing that bugs me because of this strip. It makes it look like this paper is crooked, like not cut right. It's kind of an optical illusion. That's one reason I put this flower over it. It's okay, but maybe next time think about that. This one is kind of plain, but I really like it. Scrap of paper under there, scrap of paper flowers, some stitching, and a postmark. No words, no ribbons. I think that's cute. And then these last two were shoved over on the side. You didn't see them that last go-around. This one is kind of silly. Phones and a bird in a tree. You know, what, Diane? I don't know. I like the colors. This is actual phone book paper there. Washi tape on the bottom. The dots are a rubber stamp. It's just fun. This one, no ribbon on this. I don't think it needed it. It's a postmark, rubber stamp, scrap of paper. These are two different papers in the background there. Okay. Artists trading cards. Just because. I think that's a good enough reason. So thanks for watching, everybody. And I hope you have a good day.